Creations. Welcome to the Carnival Blast technique tutorial. I'm going to get started. This is the Carnival Blast technique. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do it today. First step is you're going to prime. Water-based prime, that's what I have on here, is water-based primer. Everything is built off of this primer. There is no chalk paint, only primer. So the colors I'm going to be using is the Blue Thunder. I've got Lemon Kiss. We're going to go over it with a little bit of the Zia Teal. And then I'm going to be using Tucson, which is a homebrew color. However, you can make a very similar color using the Phoenix Fire and a little bit of Molly Red Pepper. You just got to experiment with it. It should turn into a burnt orange type color. So with that burnt orange type color, you pull out these purples and you get a little bit of a brown going once you add them onto the paint layers. So the first step, paper plate, cheap brushes. These are well used and frayed and they work perfectly for this technique. We've got a spray bottle, clean cup of water. You don't want to muddy your colors. Make sure you have a clean brush, otherwise it just turns into this brown mess. I'm going to try not to use my pants to wipe my brushes on today. So we'll see how long that lasts. But first, I'm going to show you how we do the base color. The base color is going to be the Blue Thunder. I use a paper plate just to squirt my colors out on a little bit. I'm just going to use a tiny bit because I have pretty good coverage on this already. So I have a little bit on my paper plate. I'm going to take my spray bottle and just dilute it a little bit. I'm going to take my brush, get it just a little bit wet. We're going to mix it up. And you want it to be really random. You don't want it to have full coverage. You just kind of want to get these spots a little bit so you have a base to build on. It's okay if some of the primer shows through because you'll fill it in with all of these other colors that we're going to throw on top of it. See, I haven't been doing this for 2 minutes and I'm already painted. So once that's dry, you're going to go in with your second color, which is the Lemon Kiss. This is going to get your bright greens. You're going to get that bright lime green, you'll get some teals, and then you'll get your pops of yellow from this. So same thing, I'm going to put a little bit on the paper plate. I'm going to clean my brush. Do a little bit of water on here.
Do you want her to do that? Okay, so Lauren, Crystal out in Atlanta, Georgia, she likes what you're doing with the item, but she likes the backdrop. Can you tell her just real quick what you did?
This is my paper backdrop. I ripped pages out of Pride and Prejudice, because I'm a big Jane Austen fan, and some Beethoven. We stained them with tea and coffee, and this is my wall, and I love my wall. And so I thought it'd be cool to do this tutorial against my wall. If you guys go to my page, ColorWheel Creations, the majority of my furniture is staged on this wall. This is my favorite piece.
So show us what you're doing.
So I'm going to just go over this a little bit with the yellow. So you can see it's turning green and you just kind of want to go over everything. Just really random. You don't want to think about it too much. The more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. Make sure you keep a clean brush because you are blending these colors and you're mixing them and after a while everything just looks green. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the yellow, a couple squirts of water. And I'm just getting these highlights that I want. And we can always go back. If you want more yellow in a certain spot, you can always go back with a smaller brush and just hit those areas real fast.
Okay, Lauren, one time real quick, what was the primer that you used?
It's just any kind of water-based primer. It doesn't have to be a specific brand, just any kind of water-based primer. And it almost turns your furniture into like a canvas. I do let it cure for a couple of days, so you're not going to want to prime it and then a couple of hours later you're just putting paint on here. You want to make sure it's really dry before you start adding any stain on here. So I'm going to throw this, I'm not going to throw it, I'm going to set this door back here, as I have another door that has our third step on it, partially completed. So once you do the lemon kiss, this is what you should kind of end up with. We've got the greens, the yellows, you've got your blue base. So then we're going to go over it with the Zia teal, and we're just going to lighten it up a little bit, and that will really kind of create a barrier for that Tucson to just really pop. Very random. You don't want to think about it too much. Make sure your brush stays clean. You don't want to get these other colors in your brush. So I'm going to dry this real fast. Turn on the dryer. Unicorn Spit dries really fast, but you can always just kind of speed it up with a blow dryer. It takes about 15 minutes for it to fully dry, but it dries a little bit faster if you just have some air going on it. You kind of start to see the color coming out as it dries. And you can kind of see where you want to add more, where you want to take away. All right, I'm going to flip this door around, and I'm going to work on this side with our fourth color. This one, I'm going to be using the Tucson. Again, if you don't have Tucson, this is a homebrew color. You can take the Molly Red Pepper and the Phoenix Fire. You can mix them together a little bit and create, like it's like a burnt orange. So it's not much of either of those to get this color. For that, I have this little brush. It's well used and frayed, and it's perfect because it lets me get into those little grooves that I want to get into. And this fourth color is where the magic happens. You don't want a lot on your brush. I put paint on my brush and then I dab it off. You want to get this, the stain as dry as possible to really get that kind of random rugged look. So we're just gonna go in and get all these spots and start to see it picks up the blue. You get your purple and you get a little bit of a brown and a darker mustard yellow over the lemon kiss. Just really work it in.
Well, South Africa said hello.
Hi, South Africa! That's exciting. Let's see. I can't tell you guys enough. Don't think about it too much. Just go for it. This is supposed to be a chaotic blend. It's supposed to be random. We're not really blending anything. We're really just sticking colors on top of each other. And if we don't like it, once it's dry, we can put a coat of polyurethane over it and touch it up. And that's what's so awesome about unicorn spit. Don't overthink it. It's very, think of it as like a punk rock type thing. It's just kind of everywhere. It's rebellious.
But it's fun.
It's really fun. It's fun to go crazy with it. So I'm going to finish up this side, and then I'm going to hit this side with some polyurethane. I have some satin spray can polyurethane, oil-based, and this is going to kind of bring it to life. It's going to add a layer so we can keep building on it, because we want to get rid of all this white. So we're going to go back in and fill in and get rid of all this white stuff. And try not to spray my good glasses.
And you can put that over the wet unicorn spit.
Yes. When you're dry brushing it and you're taking most of that paint off, the unicorn spit, it dries really fast. So you can see that all of these colors just come to life. So I'm going to let this side dry, and I'm going to start building on this side, and then we can go and fill in once this other side is dry.
Does it make you happy to do this?
Yeah, I'm excited to do this. This is like therapy.
When other people see it, you think it makes them happy too?
I hope so.
So what other kind of pieces have you done like this?
I did this clock back here. This is my practice piece, and this one turned out really good. This all originated from a parlor table I did in February. It sold to a local gal here in Arizona. And since then, I have not really done this on anything. I couldn't crack the code. I couldn't figure out how I did it. I had a couple of people ask me for tutorials, so I kind of tried to figure out what I did and how I did it. And they came back with their own variations of it. Enough people asked Michelle at Unicorn Spit to get me to do a live video, and here I am. She tacked me into it. Alright. It looks pretty matchy, I think. I'm gonna flip this side around. We're gonna go in and just fill all these little white spaces. You don't really want to see the primer. I think it looks better if it's dark. That's just me. That's my preference. I'm gonna clean my brush, and we're gonna go back over it with some Blue Thunder.
So is this video going to be available in other places at another time?
I believe so. I believe you can watch this video as soon as we're done, maybe a few minutes after we're done. You should be able to go back and watch it on the Unicorn Spit Facebook page.
So what color is this again?
This is Blue Thunder, and this is our base coat. So you're just going to go back in. Over, this has been polyurethane. This has a coat of oil-based polyurethane over it, so it's almost dry. We're just going to go back in and touch up these blue spots, or not blue, the white spots. I'm just going to kind of push the color down in there. And because Unicorn Spit is water-based and polyurethane is oil-based, it's going to kind of reject it a little bit, but it gives it this cool little watered down look. I'm just going to do a little spot for you guys. So I'm going to throw the blow dryer on that real quick.
So what part of Arizona do you live in?
We're in Sierra Vista. We're in southeast Arizona. If anybody's seen Tombstone, we're like 15 minutes away from Tombstone, Arizona.
Can you see Mexico from your back porch?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, we're close. About, what are we, like 30 minutes away from Mexico? 30 minutes away. Alright.
Would this work on a smoother surface? If it didn't have the detail?
I have not tried it on a smoother surface. I would think you could probably do it. You wouldn't have all of these details to break everything up. So you'd have to kind of figure out a way to smooth it out. I did it a little bit on this clock, and it worked out well. You can kind of see how you would be able to blend it on a flat surface. Same steps. You just don't have the detail to work with the depth and stuff and the colors. Here I am pretending like I know what I'm talking about. Alright, so I'm going to go back over this little spot with some Zia Teal. I'm going to skip the yellow, the Lemon Kiss. I'm just going to use a little bit. Dab it off your brush. I'm using my little worn out raggedy brush. And you're just going to go and hit it up where it just needs to be a little bit lighter. Sometimes with working with Unicorn Spit, the colors get a little muddy. And you have to create that break in between them or it starts kind of just turning brown.
So you need to let the colors dry?
let the colors dry. Yeah, don't add colors on top of wet colors. So I'm gonna dry this real fast.
While you do that, I'm going to introduce somebody. Is that all right?
What?
I'm going to introduce Twyla.
What?
Twyla got half a white face and half a black face, but she's always happy. And she likes unicorn spit too.
She's my buddy. She's my painting buddy. We hang out all day. Alright, so I'm going to go back with my Tucson. And get that really dry. So you can see I'm barely putting any paint, any stain on there. I keep calling it paint. Unicorn spit's not paint. Unicorn spit is a stain. So I'm going to just go back over it. You can see that's where you get your purple over the blue thunder and the Zia teal. And then it gets more orangey over the lemon kiss. And just kind of play with it till you like it. And that is essentially how you do it. Just a little bit. Alright, so I'm going back over it with another coat of polyurethane, make the colors pop. I prefer to use high gloss. This is the satin, which is fine. It works. I don't have any high gloss right now, so that's what I'm using. And there you have it, folks. Once that's dry, I usually go over it with some Midnight Blackness. And I just use it as a glaze to get inside all of these cracks. And it really breaks it up a little bit, and it fills in where the white is still showing through. I'll show you guys how I do that. I water it down a lot, very watered down. Let's see, I'll go over, I'll flip it. I'm gonna work in this corner right here. And I'm just getting it in the details. I'm going to take a wet cloth or a paper towel, whatever, and you're just going to wipe it off. Oops, my polyurethane wasn't quite dry. That's okay. We can fix it. So if your polyurethane's not dry, it will take the unicorn spit off. So make sure that everything is totally dry before you glaze it. Actually, I wait a couple of days before I do the glazing, just so I can make sure that there's a good coat on there and it's not going to take it off. But you can fix it. Easy to fix. We'll play with it. we go. And then, you know, once you start putting polyurethane on it, you'll see spots that you want to fix. You just want to add a little bit of color. And that's where you can just start building. Don't overthink it. If you want a spot a little bit lighter, I want this a little bit yellower. I'll go back over it. All done. How you do it. How you do the Carnival Blast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys could follow along and understand my directions and instructions. If you guys have any questions while you're doing this, feel free to send me a message on my ColorWheel Creations Facebook page.
Say it again, Don.
I will, you know, answer any questions that I can. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching me.
Okay, now some have just started watching because they were a little bit late.
Okay.
So do you think this will be available somewhere else?
I'm going to share this video onto my Facebook page, which will be the ColorWheel Creations. It's my business page. Or you can rewatch this video in a few minutes when we wrap it up on the Unicorn Spit Facebook page. And it'll be good.
So this is a finished product here?
This is finished. This is a little bit dark. It's a little bit darker than I wanted it. And this is my practice piece. So this actually has, I did 2 layers of this full process on these doors. And it came back with a really pretty darker version. And I'm going to do the lighter version, which you can see on this clock, on these doors. That's what we've got.
Well, thank you very much today, Lauren.
Thank
we
you.
hope to see a lot of things from you.
I thank you for everybody joining me and watching. I was super nervous about this, and I'm glad I got to share this with you guys. I hope you enjoy doing this technique on all of your furniture and crafts at home. And I look forward to seeing what you guys produce. I'll be watching.
Okay, now the main product that you use came from Unicorn Spit.
Yes.
Is that available around the world?
It is. You can get it in Australia now and in Europe. If you're wondering where to buy it, you can go to the unicornspit.com website. You can go to where to buy, and they have a list of all of their retailers right there. You can buy it everywhere. It's awesome. And this is what I use most of the time for my furniture is Unicorn Spit. I'm a big fan.
Okay, are there any other businesses that are sponsored by them or they sponsor?
Eclectic runs them. So along with Unicorn Spit, you can use the Famo wood glaze, which I have not used yet, but there's awesome things that are coming. The Famo wood glaze just really makes the color pop and 3-dimensional. You can use the Famo wood glaze with it. You can use the Allure dimensional paint. There's a few tutorials on the Facebook page with the stained glass technique using that, and that's really cool. And then we've also got the E6000 glue with Eclectic. And I believe that's everything. So yeah.
Okay. Well, thank everybody again.
Thank you.
And Twyla?
Say bye, Twyla.
Can you say bye? Okay, we're happy. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.